Hi, friends. It's Queen Alita. I'm back today with a message from the Lord as usual. And this one is based on a dream that I had on July 26th. So I just want to welcome you back to the channel. And if you are new, you're most welcome. Just a quick disclaimer before I start. It's important to note that not every prophetic message is meant for everybody. I know that a lot of my messages that the Lord gives me is for a few people. It's definitely not for everyone at all times. So if you think this is for you and it resonates in your spirit, just take it before Him, ask Him for confirmation. I know that for some of you, this is confirmation, or at least what I'm about to say will be confirmation of how God has been speaking to you, especially if you're on a similar journey with me and you've been rolling with me for a few years now. Then you'll know for sure if this message is for you or not. So yeah, really the important thing is that you have a personal and meaningful, deep relationship with the Lord, that, you're not just seeking prophetic messages and prophetic words about yourself or about your life, but that you really are in relationship with Him and that you're able to hear His voice for yourself. Okay, so I just want to say, excuse me, guys, maybe my eyes look a bit weird. It's because, I just the Lord is just amazing. He really has been ministering to me about actually what I'm going to share with you guys today. And I just was worshiping, and it got real. It got real. And when the presence of the Lord, when God's Holy Spirit fills the atmosphere, you can't help but just cry and break down, but in a good way. I really felt the love of the Lord, just being in that time of worship with Him. But I do know that I'm also supposed to do this video, so I was like, I just have to do it. It doesn't matter how I look. And also, please excuse my disappearing shoulder. I have to use a background because I just want to protect my space. Something the Lord has been ministering to me for a while. So let's get to the dream. This is a very short dream. Like I said, I had it on July 26th. Now, in this dream, I saw someone's car and it was in flames. It was burning and there was no rescuing anything. There was no putting it out or putting that fire out. I just saw it burning, and I even had like this vision of just the ashes, the dark ashes that the car would end up looking like. And I saw this person in the dream. It was like, it's almost as if they were standing in front of the car, but really it was more, I don't know how to describe it. It was almost like, when they do CGI and they have like all these effects and then they kind of add the person to the hectic background. It looks something like that. So it's not like she was right there where the car was burning, but she was there. And I knew that what they had been trying to do to me was now it had now come to an end. And this person, now, if you have been watching the last few videos, and if they have been for you, you will understand what I'm about to say, or at least you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I'd had some dreams where this person had taken my baby. This person was with other people, okay? So it was very specific people that I know, and they were in all the other dreams, in the all three dreams that I had before, and now this is the fourth dream. And in the first two dreams, the car was there. The car was in the dream. They had taken my baby, and my baby was in the car, in the back seat, in a baby seat, a car seat, right? So the third dream, though, someone else who was part of that group had died, and she had been in all the other dreams, the mother of the baby. So in this last dream, I think this is probably the person that is the main one. It would make sense. Like I said, I know these people in waking life, and it makes sense to me that they're the instigator, the one that this is the person that kind of encouraged others to come against me as well. They gathered together to do whatever witchcraft they were doing, stealing my blessings from me. So this is the person that I saw in the dream, and I saw her car burning, and I knew that it was going to burn to some very dark, very black ashes. So what the Lord was showing me through that dream, when I got it, I thought, well, I guess it's done. We're good, right? Just like the dream where I got my baby back. Oh, this shoulder looks so weird. Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to deal with it. And so it like I said, I knew that it was done even in the dream where I had my baby given back to me. And I actually think I had both dreams on the same day. Let's see. Oh, no, it was not on the same day. This one was 3 days after, because I think the other one was on July 23rd. And so this one came on July 26th. Yeah, now I remember. So this is what the Lord has been ministering to me after getting that dream. Because I've obviously been seeing relentless attacks, like the enemy just keeps trying. Like there's certain things that keep happening that I'm like, okay, I guess I have to keep praying. And I was almost getting discouraged, but I had to remember that this is just how the enemy works. These are his tactics. And so it's just been one of those, where I just keep going. The word says that we should pray without ceasing. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to stop. But I know that the enemy is defeated. And the Lord started to minister to me about my heart, right? And it was 2 days ago, and I was just sitting there going, Lord, I can see all these persistent attacks. Like they're weak. They're not even strong attacks. Like I know that they're not. The devil has lost all his power, but he's trying to get me to agree with him so that he can find a way in and have that same in that he had before, and obviously bring back 7 more demons to occupy the space. And so I had to recognize that he had already lost. So the Lord led me to Luke 6 verse 27 to 28. I think it was 2 days ago that it was the verse of the day in the Bible app. And I was just sitting and asking the Lord, like, Lord, speak to me with all these attacks that keep happening. What are you saying? Please tell me, like, what do you need me to do? How do you need me to pray? And he led me to the Bible app. I don't use the Bible app every day. I do prefer to read my physical Bible. I like the Bible app for when I'm like driving or like waiting for the kids to finish playing sports and I'm just listening to whatever, I have to listen to whatever the Lord has led me to. But I hardly use it. So I picked it up, or I picked my phone up and opened the app, and immediately I saw Luke 6 verse 27 to 28. And I'm just going to read it for you quickly. It says, "But to you who are willing to listen, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who hurt you." And that just resonated. I immediately knew that I may be harboring some unforgiveness and maybe some bitterness. But I think I noticed, I picked up on the bitterness like today in that worship session, but definitely unforgiveness. Like I'm the type of person who's quick to forgive because the Bible says you must forgive. Otherwise the Father won't forgive you your trespasses. So I'm always like, yeah, I forgive them. But very often it's more than just saying it. It's really releasing the person. And the Lord had me reading 1 Samuel. I just felt the need to read about David's life. And I just was like, I'm going to start with Hannah. I'm going to start with that part because that's really where the story begins. And so I was listening to the audio Bible as I was doing things and just being so blessed by so many of the scriptures. And I know that I will come and share more about that because I believe it's going to minister to you guys. I just don't have those scriptures in front of me that minister to me. And, I also want to give the Lord room to guide that message, not for me to just, do my own thing. But I love how David, as he was being pursued by Saul, when he had the opportunity to kill Saul, he didn't, and he let Saul know that, hey, I had the chance to kill you and I didn't. And he even said that, well, if let the Lord judge who the guilty one is here. And if I'm guilty, let the Lord do, what he must to me. But yeah, let the Lord decide who it is and let the Lord deal with that person in a just way. And, that really resonated with me because it really spoke to me about releasing. I just felt like in that moment, David just released Saul to the Lord. And I think with all my warfare prayers and just, going after everything that was stolen from me and praying against all the wickedness that has been done, um, I wasn't, it's like I was just holding um onto these people that have done this thing. Like, how could they, like, how could they hate me that much? Like, really? And the Lord was showing me that I needed to let go, I needed to release, and I needed to start to pray for their salvation. And I thought, absolutely, like, why would I want them to even be in hell? Like, nobody should be there. That place was not created for human beings. And I think it was in that moment that I realized that I really wanted them to be saved, because the thought of them going to a place like that was enough for me to literally change, or realize that I'd been holding like grudges against them. So I really started to pray and just let the Lord minister to me through the first book of Samuel. And today the Lord led me to this beautiful worship video. Like, it's one of those worship videos that you don't expect to really minister to you. It doesn't have all the huge stage, all the huge band and the big speakers and the mics. It's just nothing like what we normally see. It's a little church, and this is little girl. I mean, I'm sure she's a young woman, but she looks like a little girl to me. I will share that video with you guys because I think it will bless many of you, because it totally just took me to another realm with the Lord. Like, I was just in tears, not because of pain, but just because of the presence. I really felt the presence of the Lord, and I felt his love, and he just started to help me to release people and to forgive them. So really the word today is that the Lord has dealt with your enemies. He's dealt with the people that have come against you, or he's going to deal with them. If you're in the middle of the attacks and you're just learning about warfare, or you are just starting out with your fasting and you're going into warfare, the Lord is just letting you know that he will deal with these people, and he wants you to be able to release them at some point, to pray for them, to bless them, and if you have the opportunity to do good to them, don't harbor hate. At some point I just started to pray and say, Lord, just burn up, let your consuming fire burn up everything that's in me that is hate, that is anger, that is bitterness, unforgiveness. If I haven't fully forgiven, just burn it all away. And there were certain people that started to come to mind that really, really dealt with me wickedly in the last year. And I realized that as much as I had thought in my mind that I'd forgiven them, I actually hadn't said it out loud, and I was still harboring a lot of pain from that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But also some of you may be feeling hurt because of what the enemy has done, how he's used people. And really the real enemy is the devil. It's not the people in your life. It's not the people that have chosen to do witchcraft. Yes, they made that choice, but there's so many factors as to why that choice was made. I think of some of the people that have come against me. I mean, one of them just had a horrible upbringing, lost both parents at a very young age and was tossed from family to family. And I can see and I can hear the bitterness and the pain sometimes when they speak. And And really, it's almost like they believe that by doing these things, they'll find some kind of joy. And when they do hear of, people's lives falling apart, they have a moment of joy, because I've witnessed them. I've watched them find joy in people's pain, but it's short-lived. Then they need the next fix. That's why that particular person that I'm thinking of has chosen, well, it just continues to do the witchcraft. And as much as what they're doing is wicked and it's not justified, I'm not justifying what they've done, but I also understand the pain that they're feeling. And to them, this is the only way that I can take the pain away, is by seeing other people in pain. It's unhealthy, but that's why we have to pray for these people. And so I've been praying for God to bring healing. I certainly do not want to see I certainly do not want them to end up in eternal death. So forgiveness is very important, especially for you to complete your breakthrough. This is what the Lord showed me. He's like, even to just block these last ditch attempts of the enemy, it's important to forgive, because he's even using that as a way to just try and weasel his way back in. So it's important to forgive, because that will block more of the enemy's attempts. And just release people, just bless them, leave them in God's hands. Because when I think of David, he literally said, okay, well, I'm handing you over to the Lord. So, just hand them over to the Lord and pray for them. Okay. So I think that's all that I wanted to say. So don't be discouraged if you are hurting. The Lord doesn't want you to just push that aside. You have to take that to him and pour your heart out to him. Tell him that you're hurt and you're angry, or whatever the case might be. You don't understand why people have done these things to you, and let him heal you. Let him minister to you. And worship is a very powerful, I don't want to say tool. It's such a powerful blessing, just to be able to worship the Lord and let him heal your heart, because through worship, he just ministered to my heart in such a beautiful way. Because for me, the way that all of this was hitting me was that, it's just been constant rejection. And when the Lord began to minister to me through that worship that I was listening to earlier, I just could feel his love. Like, I don't reject you. I've never rejected you. Others can reject you all day, every day, but I choose you all the time. Like that literally just sent me to, like I said, another realm in the spirit with the Lord. Because just to know that, like, it was just this deep knowing that I'm not thrown away, I'm not rejected, I'm not a liability, I'm not a pain to at least one person, and that's Jesus, and he's the only one who matters, right? So just know that he wants to heal your heart. He wants to minister to you and love on you. He's taking care of your enemies. Just pray for them, do good to them, and bless them. So that is the word for today, friends. I really pray that it's blessed your Amos 4. I will see you in the next video. Always remember that God is a good father. Wait, what is my ending? Oh my gosh, God is a good father, and you're so deeply special to him.